Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. Finally the time has come when we will have our discussion on the yearly predictions for the upcoming year 2022 for all the Scorpio Ascendant natives. So friends, before we will start our discussion, it's my humble request that I have also uploaded a video on the yearly predictions from the perspective of numerology. So if you haven't watched that video, you can watch that video as well, because that is definitely going to give you this insight that how the planetary vibration is going to be impacting all of us on a collective way. So friends, now we are going to start our discussion, and before that we will first pray to Hindu god Lord Ganesha, who represents good beginnings, auspiciousness, good omens, and who is a remover of all the obstacles. So Om Vakratun Mahakai Suryakoti Samprabha Nirvignam Kurumadeva Sarvkareshu Sarvada. O Lord Ganesha, who has got a huge body, who has got a curved elephant trunk, who has got a brilliance of billions of suns, please remove all the obstacles from my endeavors. So friends, we will first start with the kind of prophecy, the kind of divination which I have received from tarot, because tarot is a highly spiritual, it's a very deeply meditative science. So the card which I received for you guys turned out to be the card of, it is a major arcana card, which is the card of the Fool. So friends, this card in itself tells about new ventures, new enterprises, that beginner's luck, taking leap of faith, having faith in the universe, and investing on your education, your training, your skill. In short, expanding and exploring new ventures is something which this card in the form of divination is guiding all of us. So friends, before we will start our discussion customized to different areas of your life, first we will look at how the slow moving planets are going to be impacting or influencing specific areas of your life. So friends, beginning with the nodes, because this year nodes are also going to be changing their signs. Now because your personality, you being ruled by a Martian sign, so there is no scarcity of energy or intensity in your constitution. But friends, just because now we have to look at from the perspective of Rahu and Ketu, so nodes always play a surprise element. They carry that kind of latent potential and talents which they manifest in their transit. And just because now Rahu was before in a air sign, much before when it was in the Gemini sign, we all have witnessed the confusion when it was in the Taurus sign. Like right now in 2021 it is transiting in the Taurus sign. So somehow the materialistic side of Rahu is getting manifested. But friends, trust me, next year at the end of the April, beginning of the May, once Rahu and Ketu are going to shift signs, Rahu is going to enter the sign of Aries and Ketu is going to enter the sign of Libra. They are definitely going to be very impulsive, very intense to manifest results. In your chart friends, Rahu is going to be entering your 6th house and Ketu is going to be entering your 12th house. So friends, trust me, this is one of the very favorable placement for the nodes to be placed in, because generally malefic planets do good in these kind of Dushtana Bhav. If you want to look at from the Rahu's perspective, so definitely Rahu is going to infuse that kind of smartness, that kind of intensity and energy, how to handle any competitive situation, how to remain a step ahead of your competition, of any sort of challenges which you might be facing in your daily life. Now whether you talk about doing work on an internal level as well, working hard and how to tackle your inner demons, or whether it's about remaining a step ahead in any sort of conflicting situation. Here we are not talking about the enemies which are in front of you, even all of those people who have that sort of enmity against you, all the hidden enemies as well. So the intuitive energies of Rahu is definitely going to make you empowered enough to handle any sort of competitive situation. And friends, trust me, there couldn't be a better placement in transit for Ketu other than to be placed in the 12th house, where it is definitely going to help you in your spiritual progress, and the divination and the guidance and the omens are definitely going to be guiding you this year. So that is something, friends, from notes perspective. Now if you want to understand what Jupiter is going to be doing, so friends, in the year of 2021 November, Jupiter is going to finally enter the sign of Aquarius in your 4th house, and in the end of the April, beginning of the May, it will enter the sign of Pisces in your 5th house. So friends, as you know this thing, that when we talk about the 4th house transit of Jupiter, so definitely in the original Kal Purush Kundli, Jupiter attains exaltation in the Cancer sign, which is the original 4th house. So whether it's about from the November of 2021, when Jupiter will be transiting in your 4th house, giving you that sort of domestic happiness, and most importantly, once after the first quarter of the year 2022, it is going to enter your 5th house. So all of the result and the efforts which you have been putting in, whether in your education, whether in any sort of speculation, in training, in education, all of your those endeavors are going to start reaping result. And the beauty over here is that, friends, 5th house also tells about your devotion aspect of Jupiter from the 5th house. From here it is going to be looking at your 9th house of your luck, of your fortune. It is going to be looking at your 11th house of your wish fulfillment and the whole personality development which takes place from your 1st house. So Jupiter is also going to be looking at your ascendant, your 1st house as well. So this transit of Jupiter in your 5th house is definitely going to be bringing very good news for you. And the beauty of the 5th house is that, friends, like when we even talk about whether from the material aspect, from the spiritual aspect, like 9th house is a highly deeply religious house, spiritual house, and the different houses. But the beauty of the 5th house is that there is always a enjoyment and happiness which is also attached with the signification of the 5th house. That is the only reason this is the house of originality, creativity, and your artistic expression. So even all those people who are connected in the fields of art, creativity, films, television, they are also going to get benefited because of this transit of Jupiter in your 5th house in the next year. Moving ahead, friends, now if you want to understand from the perspective of what Saturn is going to be doing, so friends, try to understand this thing, that whenever we talk about the prospects of your thinking pattern, we always look at the 5th house, which is your mind. We also give attention to your 3rd house as well, which also tells about the prospects of your memory, your thinking pattern as well, how you are synthesizing within your thinking process and everything. So because of which both of your these houses, whether we talk about Saturn's placement in your 3rd house, or whether it's about Jupiter's placement in the 5th house, so your mind is definitely going to be guiding you in the right direction. And friends, like for example, this whole year Saturn is going to be transiting in the Capricorn sign only. Briefly, it will come out of it in the months of May, June, July. It will enter the Aquarius sign in your 4th house, and again it will come back, retrograde back to its original 3rd house placement. Now friends, just because this whole year of 2021 was flavored with Saturn's placement in the Shravan Nakshatra, but now friends, the beauty over here is that this year Saturn is going to be transiting in your ascendant Lord's Nakshatra in the Dhanishta Nakshatra. Starting from March, this whole year of 2022, Saturn is going to be empowered in the Dhanishta Nakshatra. And friends, Dhanishta has a lot to do with celebration, exuberation, doing things in a very pompous, larger than life way. So all of the concrete decision making, expansion, working hard on your skill, certification, you want to venture out and experiment in some new areas of life, whether if it is related to your professional life, your personal development. So all those things can materialize, can take place this year. So the energy of the slow moving planets is very positive, very auspicious, and very growth oriented for you. So that is something, friends, which I wanted to say as a part of the combined planetary influence of all the slow moving planets in your life. Now friends, we will start having our discussion one by one, looking at all the houses, that how they are going to be behaving or they are getting influenced next year for your progress of the life. So beginning with the 1st house. friends, over here I want to say this thing. This statement proves very true for all the Scorpio Ascendant native. The statement is that, friends, when we talk about what you want to attain in the life, if you want to get more from what you have right now, whether it in the terms of knowledge, whether in terms of your financial state, your bank balance, if you want more in the life, you have to become more than what you are right now. Now this statement proves very true and valid for all the Scorpio Ascendant native, because your ascendant itself is a 8th house energy. So no other ascendant hold this potential of getting and experiencing that complete transformation which you people hold. Like the way, friends, we say this thing, that success is not something which you pursue, success is something which you attract. Your income will never be far away from your personal development. So that is something, friends, which I want to say you, that whatsoever you want to achieve, you have that intensity, you have that drive in you, inherent drive in you, and this year the planetary vibration is also going to encourage you, support you. So now, friends, looking at your first house, so I would say the theme of your this year is completely driven by the divination which I received from tarot. So I would say this is a very good year for having faith in the universe and taking risk and trying to venture into some more areas of life, whether if it is connected to your work life, your professional life, or any specific area of the life. The energy and the beginner's luck, you call it, or the leap of faith, you say, or the faith in universe, divine energies are definitely going to help you. So get ready for some intense drive and motivated year for all of you guys. Now moving ahead, friends, regarding the matters of your second house. So now, friends, when we talk about the second house, which has a lot to do with your financial state, and this is a house which is being ruled by the planet Jupiter because of the placement of the Sagittarius sign over here. So friends, like the way, see, astrology is not very complicated. Even if you will pay attention to the houses, you can understand that somehow your development and your growth is connected with only if you will be able to follow the righteous and dharmic path in this lifetime, specifically for your financial income. Because friends, whenever we talk about anything to do with the unlawful activities, underhanded activities, even those activities are connected with the darkness, with the 8th house or Scorpio energy. But if you will pay attention, you can succeed, and your financial state can actually take a positive leap only if you will do, or if you were to follow the righteous code, the dharmic path, because the most dharmic sign of righteousness, of truth, Sagittarius, rises in your second house, and it has also got the another sign ruled by Jupiter is again in the trine house of 5th house. So I would say, friends, coming to your yearly prediction part, I would say there are definitely going to be many financial rewards for you guys. So the time period from the November of this year of 2021 until the March and April, I would say this is going to be a time of domestic life, happiness, and all the matters and concerns of security and stability. So your finances, or the direction or the flow of your finances, might be driving towards making you secure and bringing that sort of stability and the concerns of domestic life, things which grants you happiness and emotionally make you fulfilled. But friends, from the May onwards, once Jupiter, your second house lord, is going to enter your 5th house, so that is definitely going to be a time when all of your investments will start reaping result. Now whether you are in the fields of for example stock market, trading, you are an artist, you are a creative person, you are definitely going to get benefited. And most importantly, friends, I would say that when we talk about second house, which is your house of finances, and 5th house, which is the house of education as well, so I would say this is also a very good year to invest on your skill, on your craft, in your training, certification, or upgradation of your skill in the form of some undertaking some courses as well. Moving ahead, friends, now if you want to understand the prospects of the third house, So we have already discussed. Saturn is going to be well disposed over there. Not only that, Saturn is also going to be placed and transiting in the Dhanishta nakshatra. So this is a very good time for you people. And friends, one thing which I want to say over here, I should have included that part when we were discussing the first house related prospects, your overall growth. But the next year you will begin with such a pace or with such kind of flow of energy that your ascendant lord is going to be strengthened right over there in your first house. In the month of February, your ascendant lord Mars is going to be in the second house. And the beauty over here is that in the month of March, your ascendant lord is going to be exalted in your third house of your courage, of your valor, your capacity to take initiative, and it is going to be conjunct with Saturn being in the Dhanishta nakshatra. So I would say, friends, your year is definitely going to be starting with a bang. So the initial first 3 months definitely put you in a position of power. So it all comes down to how you will or you are utilizing that energy or power. I've already said this thing, friends, so many times, that if you want to achieve more than what you have to become more than what you are. So this year is actually promising this statement true in your case, that things can be accomplished, dreams can be fulfilled only if you are ready to put efforts. So yes, friends, the third house Saturn is actually promising good success and laying foundation to something new, whether in the form of setting up your shop, setting up your business, putting up a food truck. All of that can materialize with the influence of Saturn or an empowered Saturn in your third house. I would also say this thing, friends, that try to remain very responsible and dutiful towards your siblings as well, towards your friends as well, because wheresoever Saturn is transiting, it is all about facing the test of the lives and fulfilling your duties and responsibilities. Dhanishta in itself, the Martian energy, is all about brotherhood. So whatsoever word, be very truthful to your word, to your commitment, and be dutiful and protective and concerned towards your younger siblings, your friends, and your comrades. Moving ahead, friends, now coming to your fourth house related matters. So friends, definitely because Saturn has got the rulership of both your third house and your fourth house, and Saturn is going to be in a dignified state, and in the initial a quarter, like the time period till April or May, Jupiter will already be transiting in your fourth house. So I would say, friends, definitely I'm seeing some strengthened decision making, very penetrating decision making, very wise, sagacious decision making, and the initiatives and efforts are definitely be driven towards bringing that sort of stability and security, serving the concerns of security in the life, making you secure, giving you strong foundation. So I'm not seeing you vulnerable regarding any state of emotional vulnerability. All I'm seeing you to be in the grip of your life and the circumstances. Moving ahead, friends, now regarding the matters of your fifth house. So definitely, friends, like in your fifth house, because of the moment Jupiter is going to enter your fifth house, so trust me, it is the bell and the omen of some good beginnings, because whether in the form of recreational activities, all those people who are investing in their education, you are still a student, or happiness on the account of children, all those couple who are planning to expand their family, so all those prospects can materialize for all of you guys. Happiness on the account of children, good results on your investments, everything. So all the fifth house related matters are going to bloom. And also, friends, the personality development, the support of luck, wish fulfillment also going to take place because of all the houses which Jupiter will be aspecting from the fifth house. Now, friends, moving ahead. Now, if you want to understand the functioning of your sixth house this year. So friends, just because Rahu is going to enter your 6th house in the month of May. Friends, the month of May is very empowered, is very distinctive, because many planetary shift is going to take place, and it will start from the end of the April and the beginning of the May. So I would say Rahu Ketu would have changed signs. Saturn will briefly enter the sign of Aquarius. Jupiter will enter the Pisces sign. Sun is going to be exalted. So there is a lot of shift which is going to be taking place. So be very watchful that your behavior should not be very impulsive, very aggressive, specifically because friends, you have to understand this thing. The time period when Rahu is going to be changing sign, this is going to be friends almost the same time when Sun is also going to be in a very strengthened state. So friends, like this is going to be a time when Sun is going to be exalted in your 6th house. Sun is your 10th house lord. So whatsoever is going to happen in your 6th house during that time, somehow your public image, your work life, your professional life is going to be attached to it. So I would say the Rahu's placement is good for making you wise and competitive enough. But when we talk about taking sudden, impulsive, reckless decision, specifically on the account of your finances, borrowing of money, lending of money, all these areas of life, there you have to remain bit cautious. Moving ahead friends, now if you want to understand the prospects of your 7th house. So definitely friends, this is a very good time, good energy for marriage, good energy for commercial activities, because your 7th house is being ruled by the planet Venus. So the month of May is going to be very important, because May is going to be a month where not only a major planetary shift is going to be taking place, but your 7th house lord is going to be exalted as well and conjunct with Jupiter. So this is a very good time for all those people who are single. So the energy of romance, relationship, and friends, the beauty over here is that that is not a time when the love romance, like even if you will take into consideration the love and the romance aspect for all the Scorpio Ascendant native, so it is going to be something which you should be proud of, because many times what happen is that you have a fling, you run into someone, things started brewing up, but later on you realize that we are not compatible, our education, the person is not a provider, is not a responsible. But just because of the influence of Jupiter in your 5th house, it will also give you relationship which are righteous, which are compatible, which are worthy enough of your life basis, wheresoever in whichsoever area of life you are, your potential, your capabilities, your candidature, everything. So even the love and romance is going to be something which is going to be righteous, which you will be proud of, like typical meet my parents type match. So I would say regarding that, the year is actually creating some very good energy. So I would say friends, the month of May, when your 7th house lord is going to be in a exalted state, and the month of July, when Venus is going to be transiting in your 7th house itself, in its own house, is going to be very strong for either for the marriage or for commercial activities. Or let's say for example, you're an artist, you are a creative person, and every day you are working hard, struggling for auditions and everything. So this is going to be a good time where all the artists and the creative people, your public image is going to get enhanced. So I would say friends, if you are planning to launch a product or initiate a website, anything pertaining your public image, your commercial activities, the month of May and July is going to be very promising regarding your 7th house related matters. Moving ahead friends, now if you want to understand the prospects of your 8th house. Which has to do with the suddenness, unpredictability, spiritual prospect and all. So definitely friends, your 8th house is being ruled by the planet Mercury. Now Mercury, although from a spiritual perspective might not be a very important planet for you, but in a material world, Mercury is very important planet for all the Scorpio Ascendant, because it holds the key to your ultimate wish fulfillment, and its dignified state can make that thing happen in a very sudden, unpredictable way, because not only 11th house, it has also got the rulership of 8th house as well. So friends, definitely certain months, like in the month of February, when your 8th house lord Mercury is going to be in the Capricorn sign, conjunct with Saturn over there. This is going to be a time when there will be some initiatives which will be taken by you, and whether in the form of your discriminatory intelligence guiding you well, you will be able to muster up good courage and create some good contacts, or you might be able to encash on because of your resourcefulness. So I would say the months of February and the months of September and October can give you some sudden good result and some good opportunity. Moving ahead, friends, regarding the matters of your 9th house. So friends, definitely your 9th house is getting completely supported because of the aspect of Jupiter and because of the aspect of Saturn. So specifically the time period when Jupiter is going to enter your 5th house from the month of May, it will start aspecting your 9th house as well. So the 9th house, which has to do with your long distance foreign travels, concerns of visa, support of luck, higher education prospects. So I would say, friends, your luck will start blooming or supporting you in its full dignity after the month of May. So after the first quarter is all about putting your efforts, not looking here and there or thinking about anything, just putting your full energy in the direction of your aspirations. The result of it, or the luck or the fortune aspect, will also start supporting you after the first quarter of the year 2022. Now coming to the 10th house. Now 10th house, which tells about your professional endeavors, it also tells about your reputation, prospects of status, how you deal with the people of authority and important prominent people. So friends, this is definitely a year of expansion and new beginnings for all of you guys. Certain months, like for example, in the months of from the mid of the April till the mid of the May, when Sun is going to be exalted in your 6th house. Now friends, if you will start counting from the 10th house, in order to reach the 6th house, you have to go 9 places ahead of it. So I would say, follow the writer's path. You are definitely going to be in an empowered state, and some sudden opportunity and development at your work front can take place. But now friends, the only catch this year is that during this time, your 10th house lord is going to be exalted, and it is going to be conjunct with Rahu as well. So it all comes down to what kind of dasha you will be running at that time and what kind of yogas you have in your chart. So let's say, for example, if you are falling in the vulnerable side of this alignment, like for example, you are going through the dasha of a debilitated planet or 8th house planet which is also badly afflicted. So I would say, friends, follow the remedies very cautiously during that time, because otherwise at your work front some sudden defamation, all those things can happen. But let's say, for example, if in your chart is not at all vulnerable regarding the prospects of your public image getting maligned, and during that time next year, during the months of April and May, you are going through the dasha of a fortunate and empowered planet. So trust me, some sudden opportunity, sudden prospects of fame, recognition can also take place. Some new opportunity, new role at your regular job profile can also be offered to you with attached financial perks as well. So that is something, friends, which you have to remain watchful or cautious, specifically in the months of April and May. When we talk about, friends, the month of August and September, from the mid of August to the mid of September is definitely going to be a time of fame prospect. Fame prospects is going to be very strong. This becomes more important for all those people in whose case any of the content creation, association with fashion, beauty, creativity, artistic work is getting qualified. And lastly friends, even you will start your year on a good note, because in the months of January and February, Sun, your 10th house lord, is going to be strong. Specifically from the mid of January till the mid of February, your 10th house lord is going to be strong and conjunct with Saturn in your 3rd house. So your Mars, your Saturn, your Sun is going to be in a strengthened state. So definitely friends, the resistance and the restlessness to prove yourself is going to be very strong in the first quarter of the year 2022 for all of you guys. Now regarding the matters of your 11th house. So friends, as you know that 11th house is a very important house. This is the house of our wish fulfillment, our group and social interactions. So friends, the theme which I have carved out for you guys regarding the matters of your 11th house for this year is that this is a good year for important decisions and success in them. Children will bring good news. Good year to invest in your education, training and skill. And I would say friends, your 11th house lord, which is Mercury, is going to be in a strengthened state in the month of February, and even in the month of September and October, when it is going to be exalted in your 11th house. So I would say friends, this is going to be a time when some new opportunity, your social influence, someone in your friend circle might introduce you to some new opportunity as well. And lastly friends, now if you want to understand the prospects of your 12th house, so definitely friends, it is a very blessed time for all of you guys for any of the concerns of spiritual progress, taking interest in pilgrimage, any sort of spiritual retreat, because Ketu is now has entered this year in the month of May. It would have entered your 12th house, and it is going to be aspected by Saturn as well with its 10th aspect. So I would say 12th house related matters, any of the concern of foreign overseas business, residentship, or anything to do with the yoga, meditation, spiritual progress, this is a very beneficial time for all of that. I would say friends, even if you do yoga, you do meditation, which becomes very important with Ketu's displacement, because I always say this thing, when we do prayers, we do our religious austerities, we talk to God. But when we do meditation, we listen to the divinity, we listen to our inner voice. So I would say friends, this year is definitely creating some very good news, and most importantly, this year is putting you in a state of power and a complete grip in your life circumstances. So it all comes down to how big your aspirations are and how much you are ready to work hard in order to fulfill them. So friends, at the end, I'm going to complete this video on the same note with which I began it, that I will again pray to Lord Ganesha that all of your wishes shall come true. Lord Ganesha's grace shall shine upon you. Lord Ganesha shall remove all the obstacles in the path of your success this year. And lastly friends, just because this is almost this video is going to be uploaded on the auspicious occasion of Ganesh Chaturthi, so we still have around 2.5 or 3 months left for this year 2021 to end. So if you have some suggestions which you want me to replicate or include in another version of the yearly prediction videos for this 2022 upcoming year, I will highly appreciate your participation in the comment section in the form of your provided suggestions. So this is something friends which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs for this upcoming year's yearly predictions for all the Scorpio Ascendant natives. For further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Dhanyavad.